I don't like to fight too hard against time. Rather, nourishing the skin, treating it gently, and protecting it from unnecessary damage, and how I address the quest to slow and reverse aging. Our bodies know how to heal. We just have to give them the nutrition and energy to do so.
Welcome to this week's episode of Beauty Babble. Today, we're sharing tips from top estheticians in New York City. We didn't talk to these estheticians ourselves, but this is from an article that I came across, and I thought some of these were really cool tips. And some of these estheticians are charging like $500 a facial, so I thought we could share some with our listeners in showing different ways that you can set yourself apart.
It's an interesting topic because people, I mean, I'm sure they're like, I'd love to charge $500 a facial. How do I get to do that?
Yeah,
Right?
we're not telling you to charge $500 a
That's right.
facial. But okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and I will share, like, I'm going to put the link to the article in the show description so you can go and read it yourself. But we'll go through and check out each of the signature treatments and then we'll talk about them. The
Fun.
first one is her name's Elizabeth Grace Hand. And she says that her signature treatment, my signature facial, it's completely customized once I've done a full assessment of my client's skin. And she works with a variety of brands. And then she says that her favorite modality is her hands. Her hands are her best tools. And I thought that was really interesting because your hands, they come with you. They're free, kind of, like we all have them, hopefully. And I think that, you don't always need these fancy tools or machines or all of this stuff. Focusing more on your skill and your touch is really important. What do you think?
Absolutely. How many times I'm telling people your pressure is everything, your direction, which way are you going? Is it smooth and fluid? Is it in not just your massage? It's
Exactly.
from the beginning to the end,
Hmm.
or
Yep.
your pedicure or your pedicure. Like it's manicure, like everything is your touch. It's so huge. I love that. And be able to set yourself apart with just your hands.
Yeah.
Bravo. I mean, some people
Absolutely.
have that natural skill, right? No different than, somebody has a natural skill to do updos and they're not even a hairstylist, right? So I get there's a little bit of that side of it, but if you really want to get good at it, it's courses, it's learning and understanding and practice.
Lots of practice. I think it is crucial, like, especially as estheticians, if we hone in on like facial specialists, like touch is a huge thing. And it's not, for our folks out there who love that positive energy, it's also about like bringing in that bright energy and putting that into your touch and into your treatment and your service too, right? So just thinking about it in that way. I think the other thing that this esthetician says that I really liked was that her skincare philosophy is consistency versus intensity. So don't do as much as you can on a client to try to get the results as fast as you can, but just really kind of nurturing that consistent and regular skincare routine is always the better. Slow and steady.
Right? So, I mean, even a cleanse, like even though sometimes I'm saying to people, well, remember, it's not a massage, but it's still your touch on how you begin with it. You can cleanse skin in a very positive energy to them. Setting that touch at the right at the beginning sets it all, including your exfoliation. What are you doing before the extraction and after extractions? Like, if you think of it all aspects, like another thing that I love is how people will incorporate hands massage during a mask while a mask is on, or they can't do a massage for the face, maybe it's acne or rosacea inflamed or something, but I said, you have neck and shoulders and arms and hands. Like you can still
Mhm.
do something. That's that whole holistic side of things that I think
Yeah.
that I don't think that sometimes people are quite understanding, which also sets the mood of your room, your
Mhm.
your speech, your talking. Your hands can be amazing, but you don't stop talking.
Yeah.
Maybe
Stop
that's
talking.
right. So analyze that side of
Yeah.
it too. But yeah, hands are like your technique is everything when it comes to touching
Yeah.
people.
Our next one is Crystal Green, and this one kind of connects. So she's known for her sculpting facial massage. Crystal also charges almost $500 for her facial. But I think, first of all, that massage piece, like that's something she's known for. Again, there's your touch, there's you've created your own signature way that you perform a massage. She also custom blends serums for her clients. So I think that you don't necessarily need to custom blend things, but customizing the facial, thinking outside the box. We talk about this a lot, right? Like knowing your
Mhm,
ingredients and, you know, kind of expanding your knowledge base a little bit to offer something a little different for
mhm,
for your clients to set yourself apart because it's a saturated industry. Why you? Think about that.
mhm. And you can have all the knowledge in the world with product, which is great, don't get me wrong. And there's some people say, well, I don't have a lot of facials, but I sell a lot of product. That's good. Great. However, these people are doing both. I
Yeah.
mean, people are coming in for that. It's again, it's New York. That's their price ranges in a lot of it, I think, too, at those levels of spas, if you wish. But I mean, this one talking about lifting, it's a sculpting lift technique she uses. Maybe that's where you go. Like, is that a course that you could look at taking? I mean, there's so much things that people are doing, the gua sha techniques, the
Mhm.
lift and sculpt techniques. And again, do your sometimes there's product lines that give you the protocols on all of these massage techniques.
Yeah.
You don't even realize that they're there. So it's really reaching out to find out more about it or taking the courses. But yeah,
You
I
could just blend techniques. Maybe you like one thing from one and maybe you add a little bit of gua sha. Like you can make your own
yes.
based on what you know. Try it
Mhm.
on a
How
few
do you
people,
make it
see how they
flow?
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you make it flow? And if you've maybe if you've never experienced someone with magic hands and they're
Do
just doing a basic facial, and I don't mean to say just basic, I'm just talking cleanse, tone, exfoliate, steam, extract, mask, day cream. Let's just say really simple. But their hands are magic. Oh, it's
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
best. It's the best.
absolutely.
There's so much more, and we talk about that when I say holistic. It's more about the energy that you're giving your client too. Again, you could have the best hands, but there's something else missing. It could just be what else is happening with that. But again, this one's talking about her hands as her best tool again.
I know. She also this one also add this one, I feel weird calling it Crystal, also adds that she likes to incorporate microcurrents and LED into her treatments, which we've talked about both, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But again, simple. She's not talking all this thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of
They're
equipment.
not unattainable. Like,
Yeah. And you don't, what do you have to update? Your hands and technique and massage.
yeah. And
You know,
practice, practice. Like, honestly,
practice.
who
Yeah.
wouldn't want you to practice a facial massage on them? If you're in
Yeah.
Edmonton, call me.
I was just going to say, let me know. I'd be happy to help you with your touch.
Yeah.
No problem.
Our next one is Raquel Medina Cleghorn. I'm probably butchering the name. Sorry, Raquel. Let's see. With Raquel, her signature treatment is a 75-minute long facial. She also like you can have an extended 30 minutes added on to that. So this is what she said. Her favorite modality. I have an incredible piece of tech that I call the time machine. It's a next generation microcurrent with face and body capabilities and a suite of electrodes to choose from. So it sounds like she uses like a very high-tech brand, scientific like
Mhm.
skincare brand, and then an all-natural skincare brand as well to kind of appeal to a wider range. And her skincare philosophy is centered around skin health.
I like how she
Here.
says, aging is an escapable biological fact. So I don't like to fight too hard against time. Rather, nourishing the skin, treating it gently, and protecting it from unnecessary damage, and how I address the quest to slow and reverse aging. Our bodies know how to heal. We just have to give them the nutrition and energy to do so.
I like that.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We've said
Aging is inevitable.
just
Can't
slow it
fight it.
down.
Yeah. Yeah. Or aging gracefully, right? You still take care of your skin, you still
Mhm.
nourish and hydrate your skin. All right, we've got Sophie Pavitt next. Oh, she's the go-to facialist for problematic skin. This is what she's known for.
Acne. Nice.
Yeah. So she has an acne program to help clients get clear in 12 to 16 weeks.
I love
I can
that.
see that can be
Wow,
very popular.
that's huge, telling people a time frame.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not an overnight thing, so it's realistic in as long as they're probably doing their home care, right? I'm sure there's a very rigorous home protocol that
Mhm.
would go with this.
For sure, it would have to be.
So let's see. For her modalities, she uses microcurrents and LED, and then oxygen therapy, microdermabrasion. That all makes sense, right? For
Right.
acne prone clients.
Mhm.
And for her skincare philosophy, I always describe my work as happening off season. I like to really work with clients for around 4 to 6 months to see a transformation in their skin.
Well,
That's true.
I
Right.
got my hands up in the air, you can't see that. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hello," because it's not immediate. I
No.
said, "Just give me 3 months to start with." You
Yeah.
tell that to clients, "Give me at least 3 months to start with, and you should start to see whatever their goals, conditions, that type of thing," but it's so true.
Yeah, and I think that, especially clients who have a specific concern like acne, or they've probably been through so many different
Oh, yeah.
things of trying to solve and the broken promises and all of this stuff. Like I could just only imagine. So like we've said in a previous episode, like when somebody is really invested in trying to solve their own concern, they're welcome that investment of your time. You want to take 4 to 6 months to help me? Let's do it. I would want that, right? Awesome. Okay, so our next is Joseph Carrillo. So he's known for intensely sculpting facial massage. Yes, please.
Another one, listen to that.
Yeah, so I think for him, like he says that he combines different techniques for his massage, and I think he just kind of has his own signature massage that he provides for his clients.
He
It incorporates facial
incorporates, yeah?
cupping, buckle massage, spoon usage, and hands-on manipulation.
Mm.
I'm not familiar with spoon usage.
It's probably with the metal behind, does something with the skin, the cooling. So you think of like the stainless steel gouaches. I'm presuming the idea behind it, but that's
Yeah.
something, maybe I would be searching that up.
Oh, here. Okay, let's see. My go-to tool for his treatment is a simple spoon, which I find incredibly effective in depuffing and smoothing the facial contours. It's versatile and results rival even the popular gua sha tools. I'm serious. Oh my gosh, you should do that on me. You should try.
I should do that on you. Okay, Doreen. Actually, when you think about it, I remember, young, have a lot going on in your life. So there's a few cry sessions and, all that stuff happens in our world, right? And I used to use the back of the spoon for my eyes in the morning to depuff.
Can you put it in the freezer and then put it on, or is that too much? Maybe the
You should be
fridge.
able to do it. Depends how cold you want it, but
Yeah, that would be
just that I don't think you really need to because when you touch it, it's quite cool already.
that's like the Bernard Cassier eye thing that has the metal.
In their anti-aging treatment.
Yeah,
That is an actually sculpting massage technique.
yeah.
Like,
That's so
how
cool. I wish
old is
I
that
did the
massage?
same.
Better
I
than
don't know how much he charges for it. Oh,
I think,
$275.
yeah, doesn't say how long it is though, but that's so interesting. I love it.
I do too. That's really cool. All right, so next we have Kristen Smith. Kristen, what she's known for is to make skincare part of your daily practice. Yes, that's
Hands
awesome.
in the air, hands in the air.
Forming long-term relationship with products and professionals and crafting treatments and routines that fit your lifestyle. I think that's crucial because you can't go get a facial and expect it to solve your problems. Like 80% of the power is in your hands at home, what you do on a daily basis, right? I came up with 80% as a number, but I think that it's huge.
It's a very
You
mhm.
Yeah, you could be treating your own skin, cleaning, hydrating, all of that twice a day versus, what you go see a specialist once a month or every 2 weeks, I don't know. So she has a customized 90-minute facial that incorporates LED, targeted exfoliation, toning massage, and an alginate cooling mask.
Mm. Yeah, so if you're looking to change things up in your treatment room, This is what we did, right? During you Googled and looked for things to get ideas and stuff. And that's how you find things, and maybe not locally in your area, right? Go outside the box to see what people are doing. And I mean, it's kind of like we've said this, and we go down a rabbit hole and it leads to something else in Google, but it
Yeah.
still is a great way to look at things. So, I went through this myself because the medical equipment side of things was starting out to become bigger and bigger. And I had to think about this because, I did look at and say, well, this is going to change in a year. How are we going to keep up? I can't afford to keep spending this on equipment.
Hmm.
So what else can I do? So it's becoming creative. And I was very much in how our hands were and what we did, and still incorporate your basic like LEDs. I won't call it basic, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What machines do what? How can I make this work in what I have? And then I customized our own treatments with the equipments that we had. And how did we make our own specialty treatments per se, instead of just buying a machine and going by what the salesperson told you it does? Like, what
Absolutely.
else can you do
Yeah.
with this? So it's not wrong to buy something, but don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing that it does.
I 100% agree. Like for this one, she says that their LED panels are their in-house favorite. Like I know a lot of people probably use LED masks in their treatment rooms, but is it an add-on or do you just incorporate it? Like I
We've talked.
think you just go back, reformulate your service and incorporate it. It's not an option. Work it into the price. If it's in there, people are going to love it. If you're like, "Oh, would you like a LED mask for another $10?" Like that's not.
Well, and that's the
Nobody wants to be
conversation.
upselling.
That's the
Yeah.
conversation people have. It's like, oh, I went and had a facial done. It was amazing. They did this, this, and this. They had the LEDs. And I was like, oh, really? You got that in your facial? Mine wanted to charge more,
Mhm.
right? So again,
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
didn't talk about how much the facials were. They automatically go to, and I've always been saying this to people, especially when I work with professionals out there, and they're asking about products and they're asking all these things. I said, try to avoid the upsell if you can.
Yeah. Put it in there
In
if
there.
it's what they need. Done. That's
Exactly.
why you customize. I think that again is how you set yourself apart. Everybody's using, there's lots of great product lines out there. There's lots of
Mhm.
machines
So
out
many.
there. Like, how do you distinguish yourself? You make it,
You.
take what you like from different modalities and different things and then incorporate it into your own signature treatment.
Mhm.
So this our Kristen, she says that her skincare philosophy is to keep it simple, use actives in moderation and be consistent. Work with a pro to figure out what your skin needs and check in over time because your skin's needs change and we need to adapt our practice for those changes. Preach,
I
Kristen.
love that.
Preach.
Preach that, right? And people
And
don't
that's
realize,
it.
and they just need, you know what? They just need a reminder. Clients need
Yeah.
those reminders. Everyone's busy in their life. That's your job to give them the information. If you're trying to become that specialized
Yeah.
treatment, right?
But I think this is like I really like this article because, okay, here we have this feature of top estheticians in New York City. And, you look at that and you think, oh, that's so far. Maybe you look at it and think, oh, that's so far. This isn't New York City if you're in a smaller city or a town or whatever. But it doesn't, they're not doing anything that you can't do.
And that some of you are already doing it.
Exactly. So how are you marketing yourself? Are you telling people what you're offering and how it's different?
Mhm.
It, again, that descriptive information, clear about what the service you provide is, and then showing how is it different in your space, your energy, your room, everything like that. So,
Don't you preach that in social media?
yeah,
Right?
always.
How do you give them an insight of who you are just through a picture and video?
Totally. Absolutely. And I think I just came across this with a fellow, I think she's a social media manager, and she had posted about how everybody posting the same thing and how do you set yourself apart? And it's like echoing, we're all saying the same thing. Like you need to show who you are. You need to set yourself apart because you're you. That's how you set yourself apart. You're you. You're
You
different
are the
because
person.
you're you. So then show that.
How
That's
are
it.
your hands? How does
Yeah.
that person want to come to you with those hands, right?
Yeah, like before and after pictures are great, but they
Mhm.
can't be all that you show. Or sharing knowledge about ingredients, great. Also can't be all that you show because I could Google that information. What I can't get is you. So show that to your people. I love how everything turns into me lecturing about showing things.
That's why I brought it up.
Get in front of the camera.
That's so well, hopefully people found this interesting because I mean, I was Googling, that's what I did. I tried to find what was going on in the big places and in Europe or Asia. That I mean, they're so ahead with so
Yep.
many things. So what's coming? I want to know what's coming next. And that's that curiosity and reaching out to what's coming. And yeah.
And you can even like go to their website and see, like I'm gonna link the article. In the article is links to their websites and stuff. You can go see how are they describing their facials? How are they, you know, showing what they do? And you can, use that as inspiration for what you would want to do on your site or how you market yourself.
And even like how the descriptions just in this article was like, "Ooh, I would really like a facial from that person." So what made me think that way? Sit back
Exactly.
and think, why do I want to go to their website now and look what they do?
Mhm.
I would love to be able to have a facial. You just it's just by the words and the saying and what they believe in, and you're like, oh my God, that's so fantastic.
But even that's a really good point. Like even that skincare philosophy is we connected with so many of them, right? We're like, yes, that. Like if you find somebody who has a skincare philosophy that you can get behind, you would want to go see them. So sharing your beliefs on how you approach your profession is really important too.
I love that. That could be people adding in what's your philosophy
Yeah,
as a
100%.
lash tech, as a PMU artist, as a facialist, as a nail
Mhm.
tech, wax, whatever it may be. Maybe that's an interesting avenue to explore.
Yeah,
You have the power to change it at any time.
exactly. Awesome. Well, I hope this was a helpful little insight into what others are doing. And we'll be back with another episode next week. Thanks for listening to Beauty Babble.